Folks, how we doing? Today we're learning how to write an introduction for a feature article. I'm going to go a little bit fast, so please bear with me. There are three, I think, pretty concrete approaches that you can use for writing your introduction. The first is an analytical approach, and this draws the reader with facts and statistics. There's no fluff, it's just an objective way of diving right into the story. Witness perspective is the second. This relays information from an individual or group affected by the reported event. And the last is suggestion/call to action, and this indicates to the reader that their actions may have an effect on a particular event/phenomenon. So I've written a little article here, and this is about the possible dangers that e-cigs might pose to young smokers, I guess. So this is my introduction. In the past 5 years, e-cigarettes have rocketed in sales across the nation. Many smokers are turning to the innovative smoking device as a way to consume nicotine without the carcinogenic byproducts long associated with smoking. Clinical studies of e-cigarette usage show polarizing results, with some trials showing a long-term decrease in cigarette smoking and others showing a higher likelihood in maintaining a smoking habit. Now, I'm not too crazy about this because it's kind of detached. It's using the analytical approach, so it doesn't floof it up enough. And since my intended readers are curious teens or, concerned parents, I think that I'm going to try to find a more personal way of reaching my readers. So let's take a quick look at what these approaches look like. So the first one, right, is the analytical. Mine was an analytical approach, and this is also what it looks like on a CNN article. An Ohio fertility clinic says more than 4,000 eggs and embryos were affected by a freezer malfunction, double the number previously thought, and that it's unlikely any of them are viable. See, this is still kind of detached and it's kind of grisly, so this might not be how I want to start off my article. Let's take a look at the second one, which is the witness perspective, right? For the past 20 years, Hope Workman has hustled up a dirt path on the side of a mountain in lovely Kentucky just to get drinking water. She doesn't trust what comes out of her tap. Still grisly, but definitely more personalized. We see how it can affect a particular individual, and we can infer how it can affect a larger group of people. But unfortunately, I don't have a witness. During my research, I didn't come across a witness, so I can't really use this sort of approach. So let's take a look at the last one. And this right here is the call to action, right? You may want to take a little extra time washing your hands if you're visiting relatives this Passover and Easter weekend. Doctors are still seeing a number of patients with flu, but the numbers are declining amid an intense flu season. I think this is pretty good, especially if this is a young reader, seeing how they might, be able to sort of protect themselves or be a little bit more alert, aware about the dangers of e-cigs, a parent being alert and aware. So I think that this is the approach that I'm going to utilize. So I'm going to go back to my article, and here is my original analytical approach, right? I'm going to omit this. I'm just going to cross it out because there's some things in here that, I might still want to utilize anyway. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to address the reader directly. I'm going to say, parents, you may wish to keep your noses on high alert. Right? This way they can be a little bit alert about, the smell of that vaporized Z-juice, have an idea if their kids are vaping or not. All right. E-cigarettes are rocketing in sales across the nation and ending up in the hands of teens. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pull information that I already have right here. I don't know why I omitted this. And I am gonna actually get rid of that later, but I'm just gonna bring it up here because I think it complements my introduction, my opening sentence nicely. In 2015, a study revealed that 1 in 6 high school students reported using an e-cig in the past 6 months. Not bad. And let's finish it off. A recent study. Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna write, and that number is expected to increase, which later information that I have in my article will corroborate. So I think that this is a much better, more personal and sympathetic way of addressing my readers. I think that they have a sort of feel of agency, when they're reading my article. And I hope this has helped you a little bit. Remember, there are those 3 ways to start out your introduction, and I will see you next time.